Hi all, welcome to BIAS Academy. Let's look at Science and Technology audio notes for prelims and mains, Unit 1, Part 3. India's contribution in the field of science and technology. The topics covered are contributions of ancient Indians like Sushruta, Charaka, Patanjali, and contributions of ancient and medieval Indians in mathematics and astronomy like Baudayana, Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, Brahmagupta, Mahaviracharya, Bhaskaracharya. Next topic is achievements of ancient and medieval Indians in chemistry and metallurgy like Kannada, Nagarjuna. Next, we'll see progress of science and technology in 19th and 20th centuries. After that, we'll see contributions of great scientists like Jagadish Chandra Bose, Ramanujan, Sir C.V. Raman, S.S. Satyendranath Bose, S.S. Shanti Sarup Bhatnagar, Homi Jahangir Baba, Dr. Raja Ramana, Subramanya Chandrasekhar, Vikram Sarabhai, M.S. Swaminathan, and Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam, Dr. Salim Ali, Yellapurgada Subbarao. We'll also look at women's contributions of women scientists like Leelavati, Kadambini, Kalpana Chawla, Tessie Thomas, and many others. And finally, we'll look at contemporary development in the field of science and technology. So let's start with our first topic of the day. So, contribution of prominent in ancient Indians to the development of medical sciences. There are many prominent ancient Indians, of which the important ones are Sushruta, Charaka, and Patanjali. Let's look at Sushruta. He was a pioneer in medical surgery. He had complete idea of human anatomy. Over 1100 diseases like fevers of 22 kinds, jaundice of 8 kinds, and urinary complaints of 20 kinds were mentioned in Sushruta Samhita. That's a book written by him. The parts of the plants like roots, bark, juice, resin, flowers, etc. were used in the making of medicines. Cinnamon, sesame, pepper, cardamom, ginger, and are household remedies even today. In Sushruta Samhita, the method of selecting and preserving a dead body for the purpose of detailed study has been described. Sushruta also showed his excellence in rhinoplasty, which is plastic surgery of notes, and ophthalmologic surgery, that is removal of cataract. He also gave a detailed mention of 100 instruments which are used in surgery. He performed complicated operations like taking fetus out of the womb, repairing damaged rectum, removing stone from the bladder. The use of needle-like device, Jaba Mukhi Salakaha, was clearly explained in his book. Arabs carried these methods of Sushruta to the European region. That's how the knowledge has been transferred. Now let's look at Charaka. Charaka is called the father of ancient Indian science of medicine. He also had the idea and the principles of heredity. He was a royal doctor in the court of Kanishka. He wrote Charaka Samhita which is a great treatise on medicine. He analyzed a large number of diseases and also he identified the causes as well as the process of the treatment. He was the first to explain digestion, metabolism, immunity as for health and for so many medical diseases. In Charaka Samhita, he also spoke about the preventive aspects of diseases, which is a wonderful achievement in those times. Probably that's the reason why he is called father of ancient Indian science of medicine. Next, let's look at Patanjali. The science of yoga was developed by, as you all know, him. It is a part of Ayurveda. The yoga means, which is derived from a Sanskrit word yaktra and yuj, which means yoking the mind to the inner self after detaching it from the outer subjects of sense. Yoga is both physical as well as mental. Physical yoga is called Hatha Yoga, which means removing any disease and restoring healthy condition of the body. Raja Yoga is mental yoga. Its goal is self-realization and liberation from bondage by achieving physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual balance. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Om is referred to as cosmic sound. He also wrote a work on medicine and worked with Panini's grammar known as Mahabhashya. So let's recap. We looked at Sushruta, Charaka, Patanjali. Sushruta is a pioneer in the field of medical science. He wrote Sushruta Samhita. He had complete idea on human anatomy. Over 1100 diseases were mentioned in Sushruta Samhita, like 22 kinds, fevers of 26 kinds, jaundice of 8 kinds, urinary complaints of 20 kinds. He also performed rhinoplasty and cataracts. He gave a detailed account of 100 instruments which are used in surgery. Next is Charaka, who is called the father of ancient Indian science of medicine. He not only identified the causes but also figured out the preventive methods to stop the disease, like which we are looking now. We are looking for vaccination for this corona. He wrote Charaka Samhita, and he worked in the court of Kanishka. And not only that, he was aware of the principles of heredity as well. Next is Patanjali. Science of yoga, as we all know, was developed by him. Yoga is derived from the word yoktra or yuj, which means yoking the mind to the inner self after detaching it from outer subjects of sense. Yoga is both physical and mental. Physical yoga is called Hatha Yoga. Mental yoga is called Raja Yoga. He worked with Panini on his grammar book Mahabhashya as well. So let's go to the next topic. Achievements of ancient and medieval Indians in various areas of mathematics and astronomy. Indians achieved tremendous progress in various fields of science and technology in ancient times. Indians achieved expertise in mathematics, astronomy, chemistry, metallurgy, physics, and many other subjects. And these subjects reached the Western Europe through Arabs and gradually became famous there. Prominent of them were Baudhayana, Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, Brahmagupta, Mahaviracharya, Bhaskaracharya. Baudhayana in 17th and 8th century BCE, geometry was discussed in Sulva Sutras. He also explained the Pythagoras theorem before Pythagoras. The value of pi was first calculated by him also accurately. Next is Aryabhatta. We all know he showed mastery over mathematics and astronomy. He lived in 5th century. He was an astronomer and physicist. He was the first to propose heliocentric theory, the exact distance between the Earth and the Moon. He wrote Aryabhatta Bhattiya, which is a summary of mathematics of his time and was divided into 4 sections. Aryabhatta stated the theory that Earth is round and it rotates on its own axis. He also correctly stated that the planets shine by the reflected sunlight. Next is Varahamihira of 6th century. He explained different celestial bodies, their movements in his book Brihat Samhita. He also authored Pancha Siddhanta. Varahamihira was one of the 9 gems who were scholars in the court of Vikramaditya. He made great contributions to the field of hydrology, geology, ecology, and he was one of the first scientists to claim that termites and plants could be the indicators of presence of underground water. Next is Brahmagupta. He is from 7th century, described geometry and trigonometry. He introduced negative numbers and operations on zero into mathematics. He wrote Brahma Sputa Siddhantika, through which Arabs came to know our mathematical system. Next is Mahaviracharya. The ancient Jain books elaborately describe mathematics in Jain literature during a period of 500 BCE to 1100 BCE. They also described fractions, algebraic equations, series, set theory, logarithms, and exponents in a very interesting manner. The Jain guru Mahaviracharya wrote Ganita Sara Sangriha in 850 AD, which is the first textbook on arithmetic in present day form. We heard of LCM, right? The least common multiple of given numbers were also described by him. Next is Bhaskaracharya. He is from 12th century. He wrote famous book Siddhanta Shiromani. It divided into 4 sections: Lilavati, that is arithmetic. Next is Bija Ganita, algebra. Third, Gola Dhyaya talks about sphere. And last one is Graha Ganita, that is mathematics of planets. Bhaskara introduced Chakravarti method or the cyclic method to solve algebraic equations. This method was rediscovered 6 centuries later by the European mathematicians who called it inverse cycle. In 9th century, an Englishman, James Tylor, translated Leelavati and made this great work known to the world. In 14th to 16th century, Kerala region achieved great success in area of mathematics and astronomy. Madhava of Sangamagrama is considered as the father of mathematical analysis. The metallurgy was even expanded during the medieval times. So let's look at recap the contributions of ancient medieval Indians in mathematics and astronomy. Baudhayana, he explained Pythagoras' theorem before Pythagoras. He gave the value of pi, which is almost accurate. Next is Aryabhatta. He is master over mathematics and astronomy. He gave the heliocentric theory, the exact distance between Earth and Moon. He stated that Earth is round and rotates on its own axis. And he said planets shine by reflected sunlight. Next is Varahamihira. He explained about different celestial bodies and their movements in his book Brihat Samhita. He lived in the court of Vikramaditya. He contributed in the fields of hydrology, geology, ecology, and he was the first to claim that termites and plants could be the indicators of presence of underground water. Next is Brahmagupta. He described geometry and trigonometry. He introduced negative numbers and operations on zero in mathematics. He wrote Brahma Sputa Siddhantika, through which Arabs came to know about the mathematical system of India. Next is Mahaviracharya. He described elaborately, he's a Jain guru. He wrote Ganita Sara Sangraha in 850 AD, which is the first textbook on arithmetic in the present day form. He also described about LCM, least common multiple. Next is Bhaskaracharya. He belonged to 12th century. He wrote a famous book, Siddhanta Shiromani. It was divided into 4 components or 4 sections. Leelavati talks about arithmetic, Bija Ganita talks about algebra, Gola Dhyaya talks about sphere, and Graha Ganita talks about mathematics of planets. He was the one to introduce cyclic method or Chakravarti method to solve algebraic equations. 6 centuries later, it was discovered by Englishman James Tylor, who translated Leelavati and made this great work known to the world. Good. Next, go to the next topic, achievements of ancient Indian in various areas of chemistry and metallurgy. Here we will talk about Kannada and Nagarjuna. Kannada of 6th century BC, which is 6th century BC is an important century in India. When you read your history, you'll understand that it's during those periods, Buddhism, Jainism, another 66 heterodox religions evolved during those periods. Okay, coming back to Kannada, Kannada is one of them. He was the first to propose atomic theory of Vaisheshika. Vaisheshika is one of the 6 ancient Indian philosophies. His atomic theory is equal to the modern atomic theory. According to him, material universe is made up of kanas, that is atoms or paramanu, which cannot be seen through any human organ. These cannot be further divided or subdivided. These are indivisible and indestructible. He explained how the atoms of the same element combine to form a diatomic and triatomic molecules. Next is Nagarjuna. You might have read about him in your ancient history in Buddhism. Nagarjuna was a 10th century scientist. He explained extraction procedure of metals like gold, silver, tin, copper in his book Rasaratnakara. The main aim of his experiments was to transform the base elements into gold, or like alchemists in the Western world. Even though he was not successful in his goal, he succeeded in making an element with gold-like shine. This technology is being used till date, which is used in making imitation jewelry, which looks like gold. The woods, crucible, and the stainless steel developed in India made their way into Syria and Rome. The Tamilians of Chera dynasty developed wool steels from black magnetite ore, which became famous worldwide. The Arabs wrote many books on the speciality of Indian steel as well. So let's recap. We spoke about Kannada, Nagarjuna, and the famous Indian wood steel and the speciality of Indian steel, which was described by the Arabs. Kannada, he proposed Vaisheshika, one of the 6 ancient Indian schools, in which he proposed Vaisheshika is the atomic theory, which is equal to the modern atomic theory. In that he talks about material universe is made up of kanas, that is atoms or paramanu, which cannot be seen through human eye or human organs. It cannot be further divided or subdivided. Nagarjuna of 10th century, a Buddhist monk, he wrote about extraction procedures of metals like gold, silver, tin, copper in his book Rasaratnakara. And the main aim of his experiments were to transform the base elements into gold like alchemist. Even though he failed, but he was successful in making an element with gold-like shine, which is used in imitation jewelry. So let's go to the next topic. India's progress in science and technology during 19th and 20th centuries. Under the British rule, many Indian traditional scientific methods and practices were gradually destroyed. But in 1876, a Dr. Mahendra Lal Sarkar established an Indian Association for Cultivation of Sciences in Kolkata. Sir C.V. Raman carried out his experiments on spectroscopy in this association. He was awarded Nobel Prize, as we all know, in physics in the year 1929. Identifying the importance of scientific progress for Indian welfare and industrial development, a Bombay industrialist, Jamshed N. Tata, established Indian Institute of Sciences at Bangalore. We might read about it in newspapers. In spite of severe opposition from the British Indian government, the scientific experiments were started at IIS or Indian Institute of Sciences. Indian Science Congress was established in 1914 and was instrumental in conducting annual Congress of Indian scientists. Gradually, many Indian scientists came into limelight in the presidency colleges of Madras, Kolkata, as well as various universities. For the first time, the world recognized wireless transmission of electromagnetic waves conducted by Jagadish Chandra Bose. He also conducted experiments on plant growth and found that plants respond to light, sound, and heat. He invented a crescograph. What is it? Crescograph, device that measures the growth of plant. If you want to measure the growth of a plant, you can use a crescograph. Next, the ionization theory was developed by Meghananda Saha, is considered as the first in astrophysics. Along with Albert Einstein, Satyendranath Bose, he identified the particle forms of radiation for the first time. He also successfully identified the existence of God particle. Srinivasa Ramanujan, the man who knew infinity, has proposed 100 important mathematical rules. He worked with G.H. Hardy of Trinity College in Cambridge. Let's look at after independence. How did science and technology progress in India? The first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, gave great impetus to the development of various fields of science and technology. He believed the scientific progress alone can bring out overall development of the society. Accordingly, Department of Atomic Energy, DRDO, IIT, ISRO, and other departments were established. Nehru considered dams as modern temples and expanded their construction. The atomic energy was developed during the efforts of Homi Jahangir Baba and Raja Ramana. Similarly, Vikram Sarabhai pioneered space, while Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam laid foundation for defense systems by developing strategic and tactical missiles. M.S. Swaminathan led to the Green Revolution. Verghese Kurian led to White Revolution. In addition to the above visionaries, many scientists like Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya, Acharya Praful Chandra Ray, P.C. Ray, Birbal Sahani, Acharya H.R. Kashyap, P.C. Mahalnovis, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar, Salim Ali, Yella Pragad Subbarao, K.R. Rao, C.N.R. Rao, M.G.K. Menon, Lalji Singh, etc., contributed to a lot to the tremendous growth in the areas of agriculture, biotechnology, space science, genetics, biodiversity conservation, astronomy, chemistry, and others. Before we go into in detail, let's go to in detail. Let's look at the contributions of Jagadish Chandra Bose in scientific research. He did a pioneering research in biology and physics. He worked in President's College at Kolkata. He was an excellent teacher, but he extensively used scientific demonstrations in class. Some of his students, such as S.N. Bose, went to become the famous physicists themselves. J.C. Bose carried out original scientific work in the area of microwaves, carrying out experiments involving refraction, diffraction, polarization. In 1895, 2 years before Marconi's demonstration, Bose demonstrated wireless communication using radio waves, using them to ring a bell remotely and to explode some gunpowder. Many of the microwave components familiar today, that is, horn antennas, polarizers, dielectric lenses, prisms, and even some semiconductor detectors of electromagnetic radiation, were invented and used by Bose in the last decade of 19th century. He also suggested the existence of electromagnetic radiation from the sun, which is confirmed in 1944. He showed that not only animals but vegetable tissues produce some electrical response under different kinds of stimuli like mechanical, thermal, electrical, and chemical. He was knighted by the British, then thereafter he was elected as a Fellow of Royal Society of London. Bose worked all along with the right kind of scientific instruments and laboratory. For a long time he had been thinking of building a laboratory. The result was establishment of Bose Research Institute in Kolkata. It continues to be famous center research in basic sciences even till date. So let's recap the contributions of J.C. Bose. He worked in Presidency College. He did a pioneering research in biology and physics. His students were S.N. Bose. J.C. Bose worked in the areas of microwaves, conducted experiments involving refraction, diffraction, polarization. Before Marconi, he demonstrated wireless communication using to ring the bell remotely and to explode some gunpowder. He said that not only animals but vegetable tissues produce electrical response to a certain stimuli. He established Bose Research Institute in Kolkata. Let's go to the next topic, contributions of Srinivasa Ramanujan in the field of mathematics. You might have heard of the movie Man Who Knew Infinity. If you have not seen it, go and see it. It's there on YouTube, I believe. It shows the life of Srinivasa Ramanujan, which it is actually inspirational. You should see it. Okay. Srinivasa Ramanujan was born in Tamil Nadu in 1887. He was influenced by the books Synopsis of Elementary Results in Pure Mathematics by G.S. Carr. He began working on mathematics on his own, summing up geometry and arithmetic series. He started posing and solving problems in the Journal of Indian Mathematical Society. His research paper on Bernoulli numbers in 1911 brought him recognition and he became well known in Chennai as mathematical genius. In 1912, he secured a post of a clerk in the accounts section of Madras Post Trust, but he continued to pursue his mathematics, which is inspirational. In 1913, he wrote to G.H. Hardy in Cambridge, enclosing a long list of his own theorems. Hardy immediately recognized Ramanujan's mathematical ability. On the basis of Hardy's letter, Ramanujan was given a scholarship by the University of Madras in 1913. In 1914, Hardy arranged for him to go to Trinity College at Cambridge. In 1916, Ramanujan graduated from Cambridge with Bachelor of Science by Research. Ramanujan made outstanding contributions to analytical number theory, elliptical functions, continued fractions, and infinity series. His published and unpublished works have kept some of the mathematical brains in the world busy to this day. Let's recap. He was influenced by the book Synopsis of Elementary Results in Pure Mathematics by G.S. Carr. He began working by summing up geometry and arithmetic. He posed and solved problems of Indian Mathematical Society. His research paper Bernoulli number in 1911 brought him recognition in Chennai. In 1913 he wrote to G.H. Hardy with his theorems. It was recognized. His mathematical ability was immediately recognized, and he graduated from Cambridge. Especially he made outstanding contributions to analytical number theory, elliptical functions, continued fractions, and infinity series. Good. Let's look at contributions of Dr. C.V. Raman in the field of physics. Chandrasekhara Venkata Raman was born in Tamil Nadu in 1888. Raman joined Indian Audit and Account Service and was appointed as the Assistant Accountant General in Finance in Department of Kolkata. In Kolkata, he sustained an interest in the science by working in the laboratory of Indian Association of Cultivation of Science. In his spare time, studying the physics of stringed instruments and Indian drums. He made enormous contributions to the research in the areas of vibration, sound, musical instruments, ultrasonics, diffraction, photoelectricity, colloidal particles, X-ray diffraction, magnetron, dielectrics. Apart from this, in particular, his work on the scattering of light during this period brought him worldwide recognition. He was knighted in 1929, and in 1930 he became the first Asian scientist to be awarded Nobel Prize for Physics for his discovery relating to the scattering of light, that is called the Raman effect. 1934 he became the director of the newly established Indian Institute of Science at Bangalore, and he worked there till his retirement. Let's recap his contributions. He worked as an Assistant Accountant General in Finance Department in Kolkata. He made enormous contributions in the areas of vibration, sound, musical instruments, ultrasonics, diffraction, photoelectricity, colloidal particles, X-ray diffraction, magnetron, dielectrics. Especially he was known for his work on scattering of light during this period, which is called Raman effect, for which he was awarded Nobel Prize, the first ancient scientist to be awarded Nobel Prize in physics for his Raman effect. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Contributions of Satyendranath Bose or S.N. Bose in the field of scientific research. He was born in 1894 in Kolkata. He excelled in academics throughout his education with applied mathematics. He worked as a lecturer at Science College of University of Kolkata. Along with Meghnad Saha, he introduced a postgraduate course in modern mathematics and physics. He derived with Saha the Saha-Bose equation, which talks about the state for a non-ideal gas. He wrote famous paper on statistics of photons. It was named Bose statistics after him, and now it is an integral part of physics. Paul Dirac, the legendary physicist, coined the term boson for particles obeying these statistics, which is an Higgs boson's particle. Apart from this, he did theoretical work on general theory of relativity and also experimental work on crystallography, fluorescence, thermoluminescence. Bose spent about 10 months in Paris in 1924 doing research with Madame Curie and Louis de Broglie. Later he went to Berlin where he met Einstein. He was elected Fellow of Royal Society in 1958, and the Government of India named him the National Professor and awarded him the honor of Padma Vibhushan. Let's recap the contributions of S.N. Bose. He worked in applied mathematics. He worked in the University of Kolkata along with Meghnad Saha, where they proposed Saha-Bose equation, which talks about the state for a non-ideal gas. He also wrote about paper on statistics of photons. It was called Bose statistics after him. Paul Dirac coined the term boson for particles obeying these statistics. He worked with Einstein, Madame Curie, and other eminent scientists. Good. Let's look at now next topic, the contributions of Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar in the growth of science research in India. Chandni Swarup Bhatnagar was born in 1894 in Punjab of Pakistan. Under the influence of his grandfather, young Bhatnagar not only developed a taste for engineering and science but also became interested at a early age in geometry and algebra and making mechanical toys. See how interesting, he made mechanical toys. In 9/11, Bhatnagar published a letter to the editor in the Leader, Allahabad, on how to make a substitute for carbon electrodes in a battery using molasses and carbonaceous matter under the pressure and heat. 1921, he joined Banaras Hindu University as a professor and remained there for 3-4 years. He served as the director of chemical laboratories. In 1940, Bhatnagar took over as director of the newly created Directorate of Scientific and Industrial Research, which is now called the Council of CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. During his tenure, he started 12 laboratories. Currently, we have 44 laboratories. The British government conferred on him the Order of British Empire, and in 1941 he was made the Knight Bachelor. Bhatnagar played an important role with Homi Bhabha, P.C. Mahalanobis and Vikram Sarabhai and others during the building of post-independence science and technology infrastructure. So let's recap. At a very young age, he was interested in science and technology, influenced by his grandfather. He wrote a letter to the editor of the Leader on how to make a substitute for carbon electrode in a battery by using molasses and carbonaceous matter under pressure and heat. He worked as a director of scientific and industrial research. During his tenure, he started 12 laboratories. He worked with eminent scientists of that day like P.C. Mahalanobis, Vikram Sarabhai, Homi Bhabha. Now let's look at the contributions of Homi Jahangir Bhabha in the development of nuclear power. Homi Bhabha was born in 1909 in Mumbai. Bhabha solved the riddle about cosmic rays. His discovery of presence of nuclear particles called mesons in these showers was used to validate Einstein's theory of relativity, making him world famous. In 1941, Homi Bhabha was elected Fellow of the Royal Society of London in recognition to his contributions to the field of cosmic ray, elementary particles, and quantum mechanics. He soon realized the need for an institute fully devoted into fundamental research, and he wrote to J.R.D. Tata for funding. This resulted in the establishment of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai in 1945, with Bhabha as the director, a position he held until his death. In 1948, Homi Bhabha was appointed as the chairman of International Atomic Energy Commission. Under his guidance, nuclear reactors like Apsara, Cirrus, Zerlina were built. He gained international recognition for his excellent work and served as the president for the first United Nations Conference on Peaceful Uses of Atomic Energy. He was the president of International Union of Pure and Applied Physics from 1960 to 63 as well. He received many awards: Adams Award, Padma Bhushan, American Award of Arts and Science, Foreign Associate of National Academy of Sciences. He played a tremendous role in shaping up three-stage closed fuel cycle of India nuclear program. Let's recap. He solved the riddle about cosmic rays. He discovered the presence of nuclear particles called mesons in these cosmic rays. He became world famous. His contributions were recognized world over. The beauty is he wrote a letter to J.R.D. Tata requesting of funding to start a fundamental research, which is fully devoted to the cause. And then Tata started Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai in 1945, of which Bhabha was made as a director. Apart from that, Bhabha also worked as chairman of International Atomic Energy Commission. He held many conferences in He was the president of United Nations Conference on Peaceful Uses of Atomic Energy, which was held in Geneva in 1955. He was the president of International Union of Pure and Applied Physics. He received many awards: Adams Award, Padma Bhushan, American Award for Science and Arts. He played tremendous role in shaping up three-stage closed fuel cycle of India's nuclear power program. Nice. So let's go to the next topic. Contributions of Dr. Raja Ramana. He was a dedicated physicist and a nuclear scientist that India ever had. He played the roles of a technologist, nuclear physicist, administrator, leader, magician, Sanskrit literature scholar, and a philosophy researcher. Following the steps of his ideals, Dr. Homi Bhabha and Vikram Sarabhai along with Ramana, shaped India's energy security programs. It was under his directorship that India carried out the first nuclear test in Pokhran in 1974, which was nicknamed Operation Smiling Buddha. He is called the father of Indian atomic bomb. Ramana organized physics and reactor physics programs at BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. In 1956, when India's first nuclear reactor Apsara was commissioned by Homi Bhabha, Ramana was the youngest reactor physicist in the team. However, a major advancement came when BARC Training School was established in 1957 to develop the skilled manpower required for facing the challenging problems in nuclear science and technology under the leadership of Ramana. He worked as the director of BARC as well. So let's recap the contributions of Ramana. He was a versatile personality. He was a technologist, nuclear physicist, administrator, leader, scholar, and a philosopher. He worked with Homi Bhabha and Vikram Sarabhai. He worked as a director for the program under which for the first nuclear test in India at Pokhran in 1974, which is called Operation Smiling Buddha. He was called the father of Indian atomic bomb. He was the youngest reactor physicist who worked with Homi Bhabha. The major advancement came when BARC Training School was established under his leadership. Okay, next go to the next topic. Contributions of Subramanian Chandrasekhar to the field of astrophysics. Subramanian Chandrasekhar was a nephew of C.V. Raman. He was born in 1910 in Lahore. His first scientific paper, Compton Scattering and New Statistics, was published in the Proceedings of Royal Society in 1928. On the voyage to England, he developed the theory of white dwarf stars, showing that a star of mass greater than 1.45 times the mass of Sun could not become a white dwarf. Let me repeat. A star of mass greater than 1.45 times the mass of the Sun could not become a white dwarf. So he spoke about this limiting principle. This limit is known as Chandrasekhar limit. He obtained his doctorate in 1933. Soon after receiving his doctorate, he was awarded fellowship at the Trinity College, Cambridge. In 1952, he established the Astrophysical Journal and it was its editor for 19 years. He transformed it from a local publication of University of Chicago into a national journal of the American Astronomical Society. He was awarded Nobel Prize for Physics in 1983 for his theoretical work on the physical process of importance to the structure of stars and their evolution. Okay, let's recap. He wrote papers on Compton scattering and new statistics. He gave us Chandrasekhar limit, which is nothing but the star of a mass greater than 1.45 times the mass of Sun could not become a white dwarf. So he published a journal at American Astronomical Society. He was awarded Nobel Prize for Physics in 1983 for his work on physical process of importance to the structure of stars and their evolution. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Contributions of Vikram Sarabhai in Indian space program. Vikram Sarabhai was born in 1919 at Ahmedabad. He worked alongside Sir C.V. Raman in the field of cosmic rays at IISc Bangalore, after which he went to England and became Cambridge. Sarabhai pioneered India's space age by expanding the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. India's first satellite, Aryabhatta, launched in 1975, was one of the many projects planned by him. He saw a golden opportunity to harness space science to the development of the country in the fields of communication, meteorology, remote sensing, and education. The Satellite Instructional Television Experiment, that is SITE, launched in 1975-76, brought education to 5 million people in 2,400 Indian villages. In 1965, he established the Community Science Center in Ahmedabad with a view to popularize science among children. He was the recipient of Bhatnagar Memorial Award. He was the chairman of Atomic Energy Commission in 1966. The International Astronomical Union named a crater in the moon after him, which is called Sea of Serenity. Okay, let's recap. He worked with Sir C.V. Raman in the field of cosmic rays. He pioneered in the expansion of ISRO. India's first satellite, Aryabhatta, was launched. Was one of his projects. He saw a golden opportunity to harness space science to the development of the country in various fields like communication, meteorology, remote sensing, and education. So under him, the Satellite Instructional Television Experiment, which was launched in 1975, brought education to 5 million people in 2,400 Indian villages. International Astronomical Union named a crater in the moon after him. What is the name of it? You reply in the comments below. Something related to serenity. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Contribution. Let's look at contributions of Verghese Kurian, the milkman of India. Okay, he was born in Kerala in 1921. He moved to Anand in Gujarat. When he went to Gujarat, he found out that the farmers were being exploited by distributors of the milk. Looking at the struggle of these people to survive, and mesmerized by the personality of the leader, Tribhuvan Das Patel, who was trying to unite the farmers and form a cooperative movement against the exploitation. Seeing this, Dr. Kurian left his government job and joined the forces with Tribhuvan Das Patel and the farmers to start the milk cooperative movement in the region registered under the name of Kaira District Cooperative Milk Products Union, which is now called as Amul. He worked towards bringing white revolution in India and executed the much needed program of Operation Flood. Under his inspiring leadership, many important institutions were established like the present day Amul, National Dairy Development Board, and many other dairy cooperatives. Dr. Kurian regarded himself as an employee of farmers who would do anything to bring prosperity in their favor. In his service over 50 years, he attained 15 honorary degrees from different institutions of the world, as he believed that learning should never stop. His enduring personality, spirit, undying charisma, and conviction of turning the impossible to possible won him many accolades such as Raman Magsaysay Award for Community Leadership 1963, Padma Shri in 1965, Padma Bhushan in 1966, Krishi Ratna Award in 1986, World Food Prize in 1989, Padma Vibhushan in 1999, Economic Times Award for Corporate Excellence in 2001, and many other several awards. The popular title given by the people of India is Milkman of India. Dr. Verghese Kurian will always be remembered as a person who redefined the meaning of milk as a powerful tool for economic development. Let's recap his contributions. He was born in Kerala and then moved to Gujarat. On reaching Gujarat, he was moved by the plight of farmers. So he joined Tribhuvan Das Patel and they started a union which is called Amul now. He also was instrumental in starting National Dairy Development Board. He received 15 honorary degrees. He focused on learning and he was a recipient of many awards. And the famous one was Milkman of India. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Let's look at the contributions of M.S. Swaminathan in the field of Indian Green Revolution and world agriculture. Swaminathan was known as father of Green Revolution. He was born in 1925 in Tamil Nadu. In 1960s, India was on the verge of mass famine. Swaminathan made a decision of entering the field of agriculture after experiencing the 1943 Bengal famine and the shortage of food in the country. He worked along with Norman Borlaug and other scientists and developed high-yielding varieties of seeds of wheat. This high-yielding variety development led to the development of Green Revolution in India. He has been credited for his research in potato, rice, wheat, jute. He worked as a director at ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. He worked as the principal secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture. M.S. Swaminathan became the president of International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. In 1996, he was awarded Albert Einstein World Award of Science in 1996. He was the most influential Asian people in the 20th century. As a plant geneticist by training, Swaminathan contributed to the agricultural renaissance of India. And he is widely referred to as scientific leader of Green Revolution. International Association of Women on Development conferred on him the first international award for significant contribution to promoting the knowledge, skill, and technological empowerment of women in agriculture. He was later promoted in later days of his career. He is promoted sustainable development, which we called the Evergreen Revolution. Let's recap. He was moved by the Bengal famine of 1945 and decided to contribute in the field of agriculture. He worked with Norman Borlaug and other scientists, and he developed a high-yielding variety of seed. So this led to the Green Revolution in India. He worked. His research is based on potato, rice, wheat, and jute. He held various positions at different institutions like IC Director General at ICAR, Principal Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, etc. He received many awards, especially he worked for the empowerment of women in agriculture. Good. Let's look at the next topic. Contributions of APJ Abdul Kalam in the field of space and defense system in India. Kalam was born in Tamil Nadu in 1931. He was awarded Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor in 1997. Dr. Kalam served in ISRO, Indian Space Research Program Organization, from 1963 to 1982. At Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, he developed the satellite launch vehicle SLV-3, which put satellite Rohini into orbit. As a director of Defense Research Development Organization, he was given the responsibility of Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, that is IGMDP. He developed 5 projects for the defense services. One is Prithvi, Trishul, Akash, Nag, and Agni. He led India into the era of self-dependence. Agni, which was a surface-to-surface missile, is a unique achievement. Its successful launch made India a member of the club of highly developed countries. The lightweight carbon material designed for Agni has been used to make calipers for polio affected. The material has reduced the weight of calipers to 400 grams for 4 kgs. So it was reduced from 4 kgs to 400 grams. It's a great blessing for human beings. The material has been used for making spring-like coils called stents, which were used in balloon angioplasty for treating heart patients. As President of India, he popularized the science, value system, and honesty among all sections of society. Particularly children and students were influenced by him. Kalam's life is a symbol of the true spirit of India. Let's recap his contributions. He was awarded with Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian honor. He worked at ISRO, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. At Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, he developed Satellite Launch Vehicle 3, which put satellite Rohini into the orbit. As a director of DRDO, He headed integrated guided missile development program, and he developed 5 projects for defense services: Prithvi, Trishul, Akash, Nag, Agni. He, he led India into an era of self-dependence, which is the important word here. The lightweight carbon material designed for Agni is used to make calipers for folio affected, reduce the weight of the calipers from 4 kgs to 400 grams. It's also used in making stents for treating heart patients. As a president, he was very influential. Good. Let's go to the next topic. Let's look at contributions of Salim Ali, the Birdman of India. He was the greatest ornithologist, the grand old man of Indian ornithology. He studied the distribution and ecology of 1,000 bird species inhabiting South Asia. He conducted a systematic bird surveys in princely states like Hyderabad, Cochin, Travancore, Gwalior, Indore, Bhopal, and various other places. Let's look at contributions of Yella Pragada Subbarao. Yella Pragada Subbarao contributed immensely to the development of chemotherapy. Reply in comments, what is chemotherapy? He was not honored Nobel Prize, but he discovered many more antibiotics like polymyxin, which is still used in cattle feed. He isolated the vitamin B9 based on the work conducted by Lucy Willis. He also developed an anti-cancer drug, methotrexate, one of the first cancer chemotherapy agents which is still used worldwide. He also invented a drug, Hetrazine, a cure for filariasis. Even today, this drug is used to treat filariasis. Under his directorship, Benjamin Duggar discovered tetracycline antibiotic and aureomycin. Another medicine which he discovered was isonicotinic acid hydrolase, an effective cure for TB. So let's recap. Dr. Salim Ali, the great ornithologist, the Birdman of India, the grand old man of Indian ornithology. He studied the distribution and ecology of 1,000 bird species inhabiting South Asia. He conducted systematic bird surveys. Let's look at contributions of Yella Pragada Subbarao. He contributed in the field of chemotherapy. He isolated vitamin B9, discovered antibiotic polymyxin, which is used in cattle feed. He also developed anti-cancer drug methotrexate, which is still used to treat cancer. He also developed Hetrazine to cure filariasis. He discovered isonicotinic acid hydrazide, an effective cure for TB as well. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Prominent women scientists of the country. Many women in India have contributed to various fields of science and technology and are second to none in doing marvelous work. Many women scientists remain as unsung heroes. Some prominent women scientists of India are Lilavati. She was the daughter of great mathematician Bhaskaracharya. Bhaskaracharya wrote a book in her name. She was also gifted a mathematician and an astrologer. Kadambani Basu Ganguly. She was the first female graduate of British Empire. She was also the first female physician of South Asia to be trained in Western medicine. She studied medicine at Calcutta Medical College. Let's move to Anand Gopal Joshi. She obtained a degree in Western medicine, but she graduated from Women's Medical College in Philadelphia, USA, thus became the first Indian to study medicine from abroad. Annamani. Annamani worked as a deputy director of Indian Meteorology Department and was an Indian physicist and meteorologist. She made significant contributions in the field of meteorology instrumentation. She conducted research and published numerous papers on solar radiation, ozone, wind energy measurements. She authored 2 books, Handbook for Solar Radiation Data for India in 1980 and Solar Radiation over India in 1981. She won the K.R. Ramanathan Medal in 1987. Dr. Indra Hinduja. Dr. Indira Hinduja, she is the first Indian woman who delivered a test tube baby on August 6, 1986. She also pioneered the gamete intra-fallopian transfer (GIFT technique, resulting in the birth of India's first gift baby on 4th January 1988. She is also credited for developing an oocyte donation technique for menopausal and premature ovarian failure patients, giving the country's first baby out of this technique on January 24, 1991. Okay, now Kalpana Chawla, as we all have heard about her, she was the first Indian American astronaut and the first Indian woman in space. She first flew on Space Shuttle Columbia in 1997 as a mission specialist and a primary robotic arm operator. The NASA chief called her the terrific astronaut. On February 2003, the US Space Shuttle Columbia with seven-member crew that included Chawla disintegrated into the flames over Central Texas shortly before it was to be landed. Let's look at the next person or the personality. Tessie Thomas. She is renowned as India's missile woman for her work on Agni 5, the long-range nuclear-capable missile, which is an ICBM. It is intercontinental ballistic missile. Tessie Thomas is a scientist at DRDO. She served as a project director for Agni 4 and Agni 5 missiles, making her the first woman to lead missile teams of India. She also received the DRDO Scientist of the Year in 2018. N. Valamarthi or Valarmati. She is an Indian scientist and a project director of RESAT 1, India's first indigenously developed radar imaging satellite. She is the first person to receive Abdul Kalam Award. And there are many other prominent people. If you have information, just type in the comments. I'll make a separate video for prominent women scientists in the country. Let's look at the contemporary developments of science and technology. India is one among the world of top 10 nations in the number of scientific publications. It ranked 17th in the number of citations. It ranks 9th globally in the number of scientific publications and the 12th in the number of patents. As per NASSCOM, India analytics industry, which is expected to touch 16 million by 2025, presently it's at 2 million. ISRO launched GSLV Mark 3 M1, that is Chandrayaan 2, on July 22nd, 2019, making India self-sufficient in launching heavier satellites above 4,000 kg. ISRO even became the first country in the world to launch 104 satellites on board through a single rocket. That is PSLV C-37 with 3 Indian satellites and 101 foreign satellites. ISRO even launched South Asian Satellite, a unique satellite as a part of India's new policy of engaging other countries with cooperation using science and technology. In its efforts to develop a reusable launch vehicle, ISRO successfully carried out hypersonic flight experiment in May 2016 as well as scramjet propulsion in October 2016. Apart from this, IISc Bangalore has discovered a natural cure for cancer in the form of chemical quercetin, which is found in various fruits. DRDO successfully test-fired its indigenously developed Advanced Air Defense AAD ballistic interceptor missile, capable of destroying any incoming ballistic missile in low altitude in December 2017. With this, India joined a select club of countries that includes America, Russia, and Israel, which also developed similar such interceptor missile technology. India successfully tested Tejas, an indigenously developed light combat aircraft. DRDO and Indian Army have test-fired a supersonic BrahMos cruise missile fitted with an Indian-made seeker at Pokhran test range in Rajasthan in 2018. India achieved ability to launch intercontinental ballistic missile. The Agni 5 can reach almost every city in China. Coming to vaccines, India has developed highly effective rota vaccine with complete indigenous technology which can prevent lakhs of deaths. India is also leading in biosimilars. As per Stat Nano, India stood at a third position in publications in nanotechnology in 2016 after China and USA. Okay, let's recap the entire class. We have started with contributions of ancient Indians Sushruta, Charaka, and Patanjali. Sushruta is pioneer in medical surgery. He performed rhinoplasty cataract operations. He wrote about 1100 diseases in his book Sushruta Samhita. He described elaborately about 100 instruments which are used in surgery. His knowledge was carried by Arabs to Europe. Next is Charaka. He wrote Charaka Samhita, father of ancient Indian science of medicine. He not only spoke about treating the disease, he spoke about preventive measures. He has an idea of principles of heredity as well. He was the first to explain digestion, metabolism, and immunity. Next is Patanjali, who developed yoga. Yoga is both physical as well as mental. Physical yoga is called Hatha Yoga, and mental yoga is called Raj Yoga. He also worked with Panini on his book on grammar Mahabhashya. Next, we saw achievements of ancient and medieval Indians in mathematics. Baudhayana, who lived in 8th century BCE, gave us Pythagoras' theorem before Pythagoras. He calculated the value of pi. Next is Aryabhatta, showed mastery over mathematics, who is an astronomer and a physicist. He was the first to propose heliocentric theory, and he calculated the exact distance between Earth and Moon. He also stated that Earth is round and it rotates on its own axis. He correctly stated that the Moon and the planets shine by the reflected sunlight. Next is Varahamihira. He wrote the book Brihat Samhita, where he spoke about celestial bodies. He also authored Pancha Siddhanta. He lived in the court of Vikramaditya. Apart from that, he contributed in the field of hydrology, geology, ecology, and he claimed that termites and plants could be indicators of presence of groundwater. Next is Brahmagupta. He lived in 7th century. He described about geometry and trigonometry. He introduced negative numbers and operations on zero in mathematics. He wrote Brahmasputa Siddhantika. Next is Mahaviracharya, the Jain Guru. He wrote Ganita Sara Sangraha in 850 AD, which is a common textbook on arithmetic. And he also explained LCM. Next is Bhaskaracharya, who lived in 12th century. He wrote a famous book, Siddhanta Shiromani, in which he divided into 4 sections: Leelavati, that is arithmetic; Bijaganita, algebra; Goladhyaya, which spoke about sphere; and Grahaganita, which talked about mathematics of planets. He introduced cyclic method to explain or to solve algebraic equations, which was discovered by Englishman James Taylor. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Achievements of ancient Indian in various areas of chemistry and metallurgy. We have seen contribution of Kannada and Nagarjuna. Kannada, he proposed atomic theory in Vaisheshika. This is equal to modern atomic theory. According to him, material universe is made up of kanas, paramas, and atoms, which cannot be or seen through human eyes. They cannot be divided or subdivided. They are indivisible and indestructible. He explained how atoms of same element combine to form diatomic and triatomic molecules. Next is Nagarjuna, the 10th century scientist. He explained extraction of metals like gold, silver, tin, copper in his book Rasaratnakara. Main aim was to transform base elements into gold. Like alchemists, he was not successful, but he succeeded in making the element with gold-like shine. That helps us in making imitation jewelry till date. Go to the next topic. India's progress in science and technology during 19th and 20th centuries. We have talked about the foundation, the starting of IISc, Congress, Indian Institute of Sciences, contributions of J.C. Bose, Maghananda Saha. After independence, India started DRDO, Department of Atomic Energy, ISRO, IIT, Contributions of Homi Jahangir Baba, Vikram Sarabhai, and many other eminent people. Then we have seen the contributions of J.C. Bose. J.C. Bose carried out original scientific work on microwaves. He conducted experiments involving refraction, diffraction, polarization. 2 years before Marconi's demonstration, Bose demonstrated wireless communication using radio waves, using them to ring a bell remotely and to explode some gunpowder. He said not only animals but vegetable tissues produce similar electric response. And he started Bose Research Institute at Kolkata. And next we saw the contributions of Srinivasa Ramanujan, the man who knew infinity in the field of mathematics. He wrote his research paper on Bernoulli numbers. His work was appreciated by G.H. Hardy. He worked with Hardy as well at Cambridge. He made outstanding contribution to analytical number theory, elliptical functions, continued fractions, and infinity series. Next, we have seen contributions of Sir C.V. Raman. He gave Raman effect, that is, scattering of light, for which he won Nobel Prize for Physics. Apart from that, he contributed in the field of vibrations, sound, musical instruments, ultrasonics, diffraction, photoelectricity, colloidal particles, X-ray diffraction, magnetron, dielectrics. Next, we have seen the contributions of S.N. Bose, Satyendranath Bose. He worked along with Meghnad Saha, and they gave Saha-Bose equation, which talks about the state for non-ideal gas. Paul Dirac, the legendary physicist, coined the term boson for particles obeying the statistics of photons given by Bose. He worked with Madame Curie, Einstein, and other eminent people. Next, we have seen contributions of Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar. He wrote a paper on how to make a substitute for carbon electrolytes in battery using molasses or carbonaceous matters under pressure and heat. He worked as a director of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, under which he established 12 laboratories during his tenure. He worked along with Homi Bhabha, P.C. Mahalanobis, Vikram Sarabhai as well. Next, we saw the contributions of Homi Bhabha. Homi Bhabha solved the riddle about cosmic rays. He discovered the nuclear particles called mesons. He wrote a letter to J.R.D. Tata to establish an institute dedicated to science. So Tata started Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai in 1945, where Bhabha was a director until his death. Bhabha was appointed as chairman of International Atomic Energy Commission. Under his guidance, nuclear reactors like Apsara, Cirrus, Zarelina were built. Next, we have seen the contributions of Dr. Raja Ramana. Was a versatile personality. He played the roles of technologist, nuclear physicist, administrator, leader, musician, Sanskrit scholar, and a philosophy researcher. He was a director for the first nuclear test in Pokhran in 1974, which is called Operation Smiling Buddha. He was called the father of Indian atomic bomb. Under his guidance, BARC training school was established in 1957. Next, we have seen the contributions of Subramanian Chandrasekhar, the nephew of Sir C.V. Raman. He worked on Compton scattering and new statistics. On the voyage to England, he developed the theory of white dwarf stars, showing that a star of mass greater than 1.45 times the mass of Sun could not become a white dwarf, for which he received a Nobel Prize in Physics. Next, we have seen contributions of Vikram Sarabhai. He worked with Sir C.V. Raman. He pioneered the space age of India by expanding ISRO work. India's first satellite, Aryabhatta, launched in 1975, was one of the main projects planned by him. Sarabhai saw a golden opportunity to harness space science for the development of our country. The satellite instructional television experiment SITE, launched by him in 1975, brought education to 5 million people in 2,400 Indian villages. He established Community Science Center in Ahmedabad to popularize science among children, and he received many awards. To honor him, International Astronomical Union named a crater in the moon, that is Sea of Serenity, after him. Next, we have seen the contributions of Verghese Kurian, born in Kerala, moved to Gujarat. When he reached Gujarat, was moved by the plight of farmers. He resigned to the government job and joined Tribhuvan Das Patel, the leader and the farmers. He started the current Amul Union. He worked towards bringing a white revolution in India and executed the much needed program of Operation Flood. He was responsible for starting National Dairy Development Board. He was a recipient of many awards and he was called the Milkman of India. And now let's move to M.S. Swaminathan, father of Green Revolution. He worked with Norman E. Borlaug and many other scientists and developed a high-yielding variety for wheat. Apart from wheat, he worked on potato, rice, jute, etc. Not only Green Revolution, he contributed to promoting knowledge, skill and technological empowerment of women in agriculture. And Dr. M.S. Swaminathan currently proposes the evergreen revolution for India. Next, we have seen the contributions of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was a recipient of Bharat Ratna. He served in ISRO, and at Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, he developed a satellite launching vehicle SLV-3, which put satellite Rohini into the orbit in the space. As a director of DRDO, he was given the responsibility to handle IG-MDP, that is Integrated Guided Missile Development Program. He developed 5 projects for defense services. One is Prithvi, Trishul, Akash, Nag and Agni. He led India into an era of self-independence. Agni, which is a surface-to-surface missile, is his unique achievement. The lightweight carbon material designed for Agni has been used to make calipers for polio affected. The weight was reduced from 4 kg to 400 grams, and it is also used in balloon angioplasty for treating heart patients to make stents. As a president, he was very influential. He popularized the science, value systems and honesty among all sections of the society. Next, we have seen the contributions of Salim Ali and Yellappa Subbarao. Salim Ali is the birdman of India, or the grand old man of Indian ornithology. He studied about 1,000 bird species inhabiting South Asia. He conducted systematic bird surveys across India. Next, we have seen contributions of Yellappa Subbarao in the field of development of chemotherapy. He discovered many more antibiotics like polymyxin, which is used in cattle field. He isolated vitamin B9. He also developed anti-cancer drug methotrexate, one of the first cancer chemotherapy medicine. He also invented drug Hetrazine, which cures filariasis. He discovered isonicotinic acid hydrolase to cure tuberculosis. Next, we have seen the prominent women scientists. We spoke about Leelavati, the daughter of Bhaskaracharya. Bhaskaracharya wrote a book on her. She was a gifted mathematician and an astrologer. Next is Kadambini Basu Ganguly, the first female graduate of the British Empire. She was the first female physician of the South Asia. Next, Anand Gopal Joshi. She obtained a degree in Western medicine. She became the first Indian to study medicine from abroad. Annamayi, the deputy director of Indian Meteorological Department, was an Indian physicist and a meteorologist. She published numerous papers on solar radiation, ozone, and wind energy measurements. She authored 2 books: Handbook on Solar Radiation for India, Solar Radiation Data for India, and Solar Radiation over India in 1981. She won K.R. Ramanathan Medal. Next, we have seen about contributions of Dr. Indira Hinduja, first woman who delivered a test tube baby. Next, we spoke about the first Indian astronaut Kalpana Chawla, the first Indian woman in space. She flew on Space Shuttle Columbia. Next, we have seen the contributions of Tessie Thomas, missile woman. She worked on Agni 4 and 5, the long-range nuclear capable ICBM, which is intercontinental ballistic missile. She worked as the project director for Agni 4 and 5 missiles, making her the first woman to lead missile teams in India. She received DRDO Scientist of the Year. Next, we received contributions of N. Valarmati. She was the first Indian scientist and a project director of RESAT. RESAT is the first indigenously developed radar imaging satellite. She received Abdul Kalam Award as well. Next, we have seen the contemporary developments of SNT, like launch of Chandrayaan-2 by GSLV Mark III, India becoming self-sufficient in launching heavier satellites above 4,000 kgs. India is developing reusable launch vehicle. IISc Bangalore has developed a chemical quercetin, which is a natural cure for cancer, which is found in many fruits. DRDO successfully test fired its indigenously developed advanced air defense ballistic interceptor missile, which are capable of destroying any incoming ballistic missiles in low altitudes. With this, India joined select club of countries that include America, Russia, and Israel, which have developed similar interceptor missile technologies. India successfully tested Tejas. It is an indigenously developed light combat aircraft. India also test-fired a supersonic BrahMos cruise missile fitted with an Indian-made seeker at Pokhran. The Agni 5 missile can reach almost every city in China. Coming to vaccination, India has developed Rota vaccine with complete indigenous technology, which can prevent lakhs of death among infants. India is also leading in biosimilars and nanotechnology. So let's conclude our class today. I think it is a pretty long class. Make a keyword notes of the class which you have heard. If you have any doubts, please email or reply in the comments below. I'll get back. Right, thank you. Have a great day.